This was originally just supposed to be a book report because my mom, since I'm homeschooled, she said I could make a video for my book report. So I made this. Now it's Thursday and I have nothing to upload. So here's my book report. It's interesting, I promise. Just watch it. It's great. This is my book report on Goosebumps You Can't Scare Me by R.L. Stine. Yeah. The first person you need to know about is Courtney. She is the popular girl in school, and she has an overinflated ego. She's not scared of anything. The next two characters are the main characters of this book, Eddie and Hat. Eddie is a short little guy who's always, he's a scaredy cat, and Hat is his best friend. His real name isn't Hat, but ever since they were in preschool, Eddie's always seen Hat wearing a hat, so he calls him Hat, because he wears a hat.
Get it? Because they call him Hat because he wears...
The whole book is mostly about Hat and Eddie trying to scare Courtney. Since she's not scared of anything at all, they need to prove to everyone that she actually is scared of stuff, because they think they need to teach her a lesson. Now you may have noticed the cover of the book, these piles of mud. You're probably wondering, oh, what are those? Those are actually the mud monsters, believe it or not. There's a certain swamp in this town they live in. There's always been rumors that weird stuff has been sighted over there, but nobody really knows for sure what they saw. I thought that sighted was the wrong use of grammar, but now that I'm going back and editing, it's actually not, so I was wrong to laugh. Anyway, back to the future? Back to the story. Dang it! Hat and Eddie have been trying everything to scare Courtney. They tried dropping a spider on her head, releasing animals at her, like spiders, but nothing was working. You know what they did? Eddie's older brother was making a video about those mud monsters. Eddie's older brother and his friends were dressing up in mud monster costumes and going and scaring the locals, and they were making a video out of it. So Eddie's older brother was like, hey, why don't you just scare her with mud monsters? So here's their plan. Eddie had his older brother and his friends dress up in their mud monster costumes. And then they were gonna get Courtney and her other friend Olivia to head over to where the monsters have been sighted. You can tell I'm using top-notch grammar here.
I was wrong to laugh.
Eddie's older brother and his friends are dressed up in mud monster costumes, right? Well, Hat and Eddie are hiding over in the swamp somewhere. They're watching Courtney and Olivia and waiting for his older brother to pop out in his mud monster costume and scare them. They did see mud monsters come out of the mud and start walking toward Courtney. Courtney didn't see it. Her and Olivia were just talking, and they were sneaking up from behind the mud monsters. And Eddie's older brother and his friend's costumes were top-notch. They were like awesome costumes. They looked exactly like mud monsters. So Eddie was like, wow, this is totally gonna work. We're gonna scare her for once. This is gonna be our big moment. But as R.L. Stine always says, there's the beginning, the middle, and the twist. Eddie felt his tap on his shoulder. He turned around, and there's his older brother in a mud monster costume. He was like, sorry, little bro, we got stuck in traffic. And Eddie's like, wait a minute, if you're here, who's that? And then it turns out, the twist is, they were real mud monsters! Oh! Pretty much ends the book there, like not even exaggerating. On like the second to last page, it's like, mud monsters popped out of the mud and scared them. And then they talk about how they were traumatized from it. The end.